Hello guys, Absolute Duelist here, coming at you with another One Piece game video. And in today's One Piece game video, I have my Trafalgar lore deck versus a Nami deck. Now, this is not something we see very often, but Nami was at my locals, I got them round one, so we ended up going against this, and we're going to see how this game goes, because I'm on Trafalgar lore. And Nami's entire preference is to essentially deck out as quickly as possible. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Nami player is going to deck out, how they're going to get to 0 cards, if they're going to be able to do that before I can kill them, and it's just really interesting to see. So I'm just making sure his life is correct because it was put down incorrectly, because you have to go from top to bottom. So he's going to go ahead and start off with a buggy though, going on the play. And let's see what he goes ahead and adds out these top 5 cards. He goes ahead and adds a Mr. 1 Das Bones. Not a bad card. The card's very good in Nami, of course, being able to add back your your Rubber Bands of Dooms, your Gavels. It allows you to add back a lot. And I'm going to start off by getting a Dadan, and Dadan's going to go ahead and add a Nami from the top of my deck. And let's go ahead and see its pass turn straight back to the Nami player. See what he's going to do. He's going to rest 1 to play a buggy. Looking at the top 5 cards again, and he adds, oh, okay, he adds a Deathwing. Not bad, not bad. Deathwing being a very good card. If you've got 0 cards in hand, you can go ahead and draw 2. And also it's a 6k counter, so it can be very strong at times. So it's my turn now. I go ahead and get to Don. Looking at it, we could do some things, like swinging big into the Nami isn't a bad choice, but it looks like we're just going to go ahead and straight swing 5 into his life. And he just obviously drops the 2k. Now, something actually smart to do against the Nami deck is don't swing for more than 5 unless it's 7, or if you want to go proper in, then swing for 9. Because obviously Gavel's a 4k counter, majority of the counters are 2k, so you always want to be swinging for like 7 or 5 or maximum 9s at times. But we've gone ahead and dropped a Nami, a Dadan, and another Nami, so we went ahead and got a couple of searches of that, which is pretty good. And now the Nami player is debating what he wants to do on his turn. So what is he gonna do? Like, he has options, obviously. He doesn't want to swing into my life, because swinging into my life just gives me more advantage. So what he wants to do is protect himself. So he's gonna go ahead and play the Das Bones, returning the Desert Sparta back to his hand. Very good card, Desert Sparta, allowing him to stack his deck. It's better in Trigger normally though. And he's gonna go ahead and play a Kaya, drawing 2 and discarding 2. So he discards the Impel Down 2-cost card, or 1-cost card that does essentially nothing, but it has trigger draw 2, and he also discards the Deathwing as well. Okay, so maybe he doesn't think he's going to be able to get to that number he needs, but we're going to swing for 5 again. He's going to go ahead and Desert Sparta again, looking at the top 3 cards, debating what he wants to put them in order-wise, and he chooses to put them, to the top of his deck as well. So I'm going to play a Zoro, swing 7, or sorry, 6. Love how I do that after saying, oh, you should be swinging for 7s and stuff, but probably just want to swing for the 6 just for the sake of it, right? So what is he going to do? What's he going to drop to protect him? He's going to drop another Desert Sparta. And then we're going to go ahead and shambles from the looks of it, playing a Basil Hawkins. Now, Basil Hawkins in this matchup isn't really going to do a lot, sadly, because he doesn't really swing with his characters, unless it's maybe like a Zeph or something, if he does play the Zeph. But Basil Hawkins, not really a good card against this deck. So he's going to go ahead and draw 2 here. Well, he's drawing his 1 for turn and drawing another one. Sorry, he's drawing with the Kaya. Me just not realizing that. Okay, so he drew with the Kaya and trash 2, discarding the Impel Down All-Stars, I believe it's called. And he plays another Das Bones, which is going to add back, I think it was a Desert Sparta again. He keeps adding back that Desert Sparta. Okay, so what are we going to do on our turn? We're going to go ahead and swing 5 into the Nami. So we're starting to go ahead and just swing a lot here. We want to start whittling down his life at this point, because it looks like his deck's still pretty chunky, but it is a double-sleeved deck, so it can look bigger than the eye can tell. Like, it does get to the point where I start asking him how many cards are left in trash, in deck, just because, well, if I don't know, it's going to be a problem. So we're swinging 5s into him with the Dadans, getting in those 5 swings, decreasing his hand, decreasing his amount of counters, and we swing another 5 into his life with my leader here. Now, what will he do? Will he just counter out, or will he take another life? He does choose to take a life, and he does get a trigger, so he gets to mill 1 and draw 1 with the Rubber Band of Doom trigger, getting him 2 cards deeper into the deck. And he goes ahead and Meru beams to draw another card, so he does get out of some damage there. Then we're going to go ahead and shambles, returning the Basil, funny enough, to play the Rush Luffy and swinging for 7 again, going ahead and getting some damage into his life. And he does choose to take it, but he gets another Rubber Band of Doom trigger, drawing and trashing 1. So he's had 2 very good triggers so far. He's had the 2 Rubber Band of Doom triggers, which is very strong. Gives him a lot of utility, and my hand's just looking huge. Like, I'm not swinging into him, or he's not swinging into me, so I'm not taking any damage. I've just got tons of cards in hand that do essentially nothing. But he's going to swing 5 into the Dadan. I let the Dadan die. Like, I could have probably countered it, but like, is there a point? Is there a point to countering it? I don't know. I really do not know right now, guys. But he's going to go ahead and swing 3 into the other Dadan. I do choose to counter this one. And then he goes ahead and swings another 3 into the Dadan. Do we counter again? Yes, we do, using the Otama here. Now, will he want to commit more Don into killing the other Dadan? That's the question. Like, what would be the best play here? So he's going to rest 3. Well, to use the Sanji's Pilaf to draw 2 cards. Very strong card. It's essentially Pot of Greed in One Piece, which is just a very good card. Any blue deck should probably be playing that card, unless it's maybe like Doflamingo. Like, if you're playing like Crocodile or anything like that, definitely a very good card to take. Just because if it gets its trigger, you get to draw 2 cards for free, which is very nice. So we go ahead and swing into the buggy. We swing into the buggy again. And we're probably going to do some smaller swings and then maybe swing big with the Luffy. Just because his hand is getting bigger now, so we want to kind of deal with that. So we play a Beige here. Then we're going to go ahead and put a ton on the Luffy and just swing into face. So maybe we're going to go ahead and restand the Luffy. Okay. So we're going to take out a lot of his hand here, which is good. But what are we going to do after that? Like, where does this go? So he's just thinking about how he wants to counter out, checking his trash. Thinking where he's going. Probably also trying to count how many cards he has left in deck without actually touching the deck, which isn't bad. Because like knowing that end goal in Nami is always important. You want to know exactly how many cards you need to trash, just so you can get to the point where, oh yes, I win the game, right? Like that's like the whole point of the deck. You want to get to 0 cards so you can win and just not care. You're playing essentially Nami is kind of like a solitaire deck where it's protect the castle until I've got nothing left, right? Like, that's the whole point of the deck. And it's actually kind of interesting, to be honest, because it's a different way of playing the game. And Nami is the only deck in the game with that win con, where you just have everything in your hand. You just keep protecting yourself until eventually I have nothing left and I win. Like, it's essentially the only alternate win con in the game right now, which is actually pretty cool. But he's going to go ahead and counter for... how big is the Luffy? So, like, that looks like 6 Don on it, so 12. So he's going to counter out for 8. Okay, so that is enough. That's 8k over. And then we're going to restand the Luffy and swing again, which he does take this one. And then we're going to just swinging 6 again for no reason. Like, swinging 5 would have done the trick as well. I could have also just been doing it so he doesn't just drop like a dozen bones or something to try and get out of it. So getting rid of his bigger counters is also very decent, but... yeah, I'm just swinging 6s for probably no reason at this point. But he doesn't have a lot of cards, and this is where he's starting to count. I didn't really see how many's left. If I remember correctly, he might have had about 18 cards left in deck at this point in the game. Not a lot of cards. So, let's see. What is he going to do? So he's probably going to... what I would assume he does here is probably attempt to kill the Luffy, but there's not really any way he can kill it. But he's going to go in and Sanji's Pilaf to draw 2. Not bad, not bad. Getting himself closer to the 0 number, which is always going to be good for him. He's counted his Don. He's got 10 left. He's got a lot. He's got enough to survive, probably. He's going to go ahead and swing 5 into the Nami, though. Not bad, not bad. I would probably swing maybe a dozen bones into the Nami, just because then I could swing the leader as well. Like, I could have just blocked it, too. But he's going to go ahead and pass there. Okay, so he goes ahead and passes. Now, what I could do here, if I do have it, I could just drop another restand Law to do some big damage with the wanted Luffy. But it looks like I'm going to swing 5 into life. Trying to decrease his hand a bit. Swinging 5 into life again. He goes ahead and Desert Spartans, looking at the top 3. Chooses to put them back on top. We go ahead and play the Nami. Adding to hand a Chopper. Not that it's going to be useful. Okay. Then, what do we do? We go ahead and swing 9 into the Nami. Maybe 2 9s? That might be the play this turn. Or I'm just trying to make him waste his hand at this point. Either's good. Either is good. Because, like, he's got 4 cards in hand. He's got, what, 6 non-active. So he could be dropping, like, Gum Gum Gavels, Rubber Band of Doom like he just did. Like, he'd also drop... he dropped 2 2Ks, an Uppiece, and a Kaya. Dropping the Kayas, though, I don't think it's ever good. But he is going to go ahead and Deathwing to draw 2. That's very strong. Returning the Law, though, to go ahead and play another... well, playing the Zoro to swing for 7. Does he have a thing to play? Nope, but he does might have a trigger here. He goes ahead and uses the Brick Fist to go ahead and return that Kaya. So we might see a big turn play where he attempts to deck out here. He is going to play the Pilaf. He's then going to play the Kaya to draw 2 and then trash 2. Okay. His deck is looking pretty thin as well. So he does trash 2. He's going to pay 1 to play another Kaya. Okay. Trashing those 2. Then he's going to play a third Kaya. Trashing 2 more. Okay. So does he have enough now, though? Like, it looks like he's got like 8 cards left in deck or something. Maybe 10? 2 cards in hand. About 10, maybe 8 left in deck. And he goes ahead and Brick Fists to go ahead and return the Kaya and replay the Kaya. And then he just trashes 2. And then he plays a Buggy to look at like the last 4 in his deck. Adds the All-Stars to hand. And that looks like where it's going to be game there, guys. Like, he got so close to getting to the deck out there, but it just was no cigar. So I'm just going to swing really big with... oh, I'm just... he wanted... if I actually remember correctly, he wanted me to swing with the Capone. He was like, oh, swing with the Capone. Just do it. Just do it. It'd be funny for the video. But, like, I was like, I don't want to be rude. But he just said, do it. It'll be funny. And so he lost to a 11k Capone to the face. And yeah, so that was an interesting game. Nami got very close to decking out, and Nami can get there. I think that just needs a few more cards to help it draw better, and then it'll probably just be superb, right? But anyway, guys, that has been game 1 from Locals. I hope you did enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Absolute Duelist signing out. Later all.